Good afternoon and welcome to Stay Stitching. My name is Carla. I'm here today to show you my very first fabric bound junk journal, and I learned how to do this on Gail Augustinelli's channel. She has all kinds of really nice tutorials, and my son's laughing at me because I was going to say tutorials or whatever. It's not that easy to film these with a peanut gallery, the 14-year-old sitting over there smirking at me. But, you know, this is my life, so here we go. Anyway, Gail has lots of lovely tutorials on her channel. In addition to being an incredible supporter of the journaling community, Gail has actually bought one of my journals from my Etsy shop, and she recently filmed several videos where she featured some of the journals that she has bought, and mine was one of them. And after she showed that, I got several more subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I sold almost all of the, I only had two, no, I sold my last journal out of my Etsy shop, and sold some of my ephemera packages. So, Gail is kind of the gift that keeps on giving for those of us in the journaling community. Before I get started, let me show you these beautiful lilacs that my husband brought in today. Lilacs grow really well in Colorado. However, if they bloom too soon, they get frozen, and it happens a lot. And so even though they're lovely and they smell fantastic, they're not a favorite bush of mine because of the fact that when they get frozen, then you get nothing out of them. And that's a little bit annoying. But let's get back to the journal. So I didn't fix this closed in any way. I just have this pretty red tulle on here. I thought that, I've made a knot there. I thought that the cherry fabric was a really cute 1950s style fabric. Now once I have it open, you'll be able to tell it from the background fabric a little bit better. So what I used to make this journal, my primary thing in this journal is the June 1952 edition of Good Housekeeping magazine. And so almost everything in this journal is actually vintage. The only things that aren't are these little cute vintage images from Crafty Secrets, and their reproductions. You used to be able to buy these big cards of these, and you could cut them up. They look like this. And so Crafty Secrets is no longer in business, and I just have a few more of these left, and when they're gone, they're gone. So when you see these images in this book, then you're looking at actual Good Housekeeping magazine images from June of 1952. This here is my business card. I put that in there. And then this is something that I put in all of my journals. This is a page out of a book that I gave my mom. And she still had this book when she passed away. And it's just full of quotes about mothers. Here's a Polish proverb. The greatest love is a mother's. Then comes a dog's. Then comes a sweetheart. And so I just added this in here. I'm going to keep adding one to every journal I make until the book is gone. It's kind of my way of thinking about my own mother who's gone now and honoring other mothers. I always add them in a way that it can be removed in case, you know, you're not in a good place with your own mom and you don't want that in there. But anyway, I made sure that I put this image right at the front. This is Canned Joy, and these gals are at the grocery store. I feed it to them once a week. I just thought that was hilarious. So I wanted that to be right in the front. This is vintage writing paper. It came on a big roll, so I have a lot of that. And then I've just added as much of this little magazine, not little, it's kind of big actually, as I could fit into the book without kind of cutting it up. And I tried to keep it so that you could see the backs of them as well. This image here, I childproofed the house, but they're still getting in. That is also from Crafty Secrets. And here's more from the Good Housekeeping magazine. This is from an old cookbook called America Cooks, favorite recipes from 48 states. And so I added that into this. This line of journals is going to be called Modern Domestic. And so I'm kind of playing on, you know, how things were in the 50s and how kind of buttoned up we all were at that time. I wasn't alive then, but that's the impression that we get. And boy, I'm the furthest thing from a 50s housewife. I think even a bad 50s housewife would have a heart attack if she saw my house. This one says, I don't rise and shine until noon. This is a pocket. A pattern thing. This is a little tuck spot. Tracing paper. Here's a Colgate ad. You know, based on this magazine and flipping through it, they were very, very, very concerned about bad breath in the 50s. I'm telling you, the magazine is full of ads about ways to stop bad breath. This is hilarious. This is a whole article on hemorrhoids. So you might be able to read through that and figure out what they thought would be a good hemorrhoid fix in the 50s. This is just a little gal working in her garden. That's a stamp. Here is some more from that magazine. This is a tapioca advertisement, is what that is. The rest of it's in here somewhere. This is a page, a very brittle old page. I just love the color. From a book called Naughty Betty. I think Naughty Miss Betty. The cover page for this is in here somewhere. This is from the cookbook again. Girlfriends add joy to life. That's just a little tag that goes in there. Little pocket I made from a King Lear page. Here's another pocket, Woodbury facial soap. Did you know that, no man would ever want to marry you, if you didn't have a creamy complexion? So that's pretty important. A lot of the advertisements were all about the best ways to appeal to a man. This is from that cookbook. An Ivory soap ad. Look at her beautiful complexion. If you'd like a soft, smooth complexion, says lovely cover girl Kathy Avery, don't trust to luck. More of that Ivory ad. And then on the back, here's an ad for a Kelvinator, which is an electric range. And look, the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, or whatever that thing is called. They still do that, I think. These newer looking pages are from this book, Meet Mr. Product. It's pretty cool. And so I just pulled some things out that I liked the looks of. You'll see that in, you'll see pages from that in a lot of my books. This patterned paper is from this paper pad, Modern Homemaker, by October Afternoon, which I just love. Super cute. This is an article about insuring your vacation. This is a Tampax ad. Here's Marty. She's having a martini because she's been cleaning the house all day and washing her face with ivory soap and cooking in her Kelvinator. This is a Canon towel ad. Feel their finish. Just some old book paper. All the paper in here that was any kind of modern paper has been tea-dyed. And then if it had a beautiful natural color to it, like these, I didn't tea-dye them. I did not tea-dye this writing paper because, first of all, you know how it is. It's super thin, kind of newsprinty stuff. And second of all, I like the color of it as is. This is part of the cover of that magazine, volume 134, number 6. So this was June. And then here's a page out of that America Cooks. I always do this when I make a standing rib roast. I make sure that I make these little decorations to stick on the bones. Just kidding. I don't actually do that. I've never made a standing rib roast or whatever that is. I probably have never spent this much time on any food in my entire life. And probably won't ever. So here is a little journaling page. Use Crisco. It's digestible. That's nice since we're going to eat it. More of that Kelvinator ad. Here is more of that Tampax ad. And then I just flipped this out. And this is more of the article, I believe, on ensuring your vacation. The perfect man. He's tanned, sweet, and if he gives you any grief, you can bite his head off. Yummy. Oh, by the way, if you can hear the chainsaws outside, I apologize. We had to have a tree taken down, a very, very large tree that was, well, half dead at least, and probably would have done severe damage. I mean, this tree is so big, I think they're on their 4th or 5th truckload of wood out of here. And so there was really no way I was getting this filmed today unless you guys heard chainsaws in the background. So I know that's not very peaceful, but that's what we have going on here at my house. Family favorite, happiness is homemade. This is a borax ad. It also has the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Look at this sweet baby. Isn't that adorable? That's probably more that ivory ad. Kelvinator, eat it. It's good for you. Is this in the way? That's more of the Crafty Secrets cutouts. There's some minute tapioca. More of that October afternoon, June 1952, Good Housekeeping Index, or whatever. Another bad breath ad. This is pattern paper, pattern tissue. And this is pattern tissue that was left over from something that I made and cut out. So I just keep these little bits and put them into my books because they're cool. Little booklet to write in, and an ad for Brillo pads. This is the part of the Modern Homemaker patterned paper. This is, we're getting to the center. This is the cover of this June 1952 Good Housekeeping magazine. So I put it in the center so you can see how absolutely adorable it is. So that's there in the middle. So you'll know where all these little ads came from. More Canon towels. I bet all of us have Canons in our house. Canon towels probably. Still have them. Toothpaste, tooth decay. That was a hot topic. Picture of the month. So, out of the swashbuckling pages over which millions have pored with delight, comes the story of the famous sword that flashed through 100 duels, that slashed into perfumed and silken-draped boudoirs of the most beautiful women in France, that plunged a man into the most fabulous exploits of a tumultuous era. All right, well,